one.
Feet pics for everyone. Everyone gets feet pics.
I probably could make some money off my feet. I have this one toe that's like kind of crooked. And it might be like
Let's not.
Chad just died. Chad just died a little.
Yeah, I'm gonna channel my internet real quick, and then we can start. All right, cool.
Try that countdown
yes,
again.
Dad?
No, he's gonna do the countdown.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Is he just gonna mime the entire episode? All right. Well, let's do it then. Here we go. Let me get my notes up.
You just gotta count down, man. That's all you gotta do.
3,
is count.
2. Hello, welcome to Show Boys. My name's Mike. I tried the silent one, maybe it was a 1.5. I don't know. We'll have to watch.
I don't think you said
He kind of Shane Gillis that one a little, a little hard.
I dodged it. It nicked me, but I dodged it.
Oh, you're nicked, all right.
If you, if you know, you know. We're here. It's another lovely week of Show Boys content. It's definitely not the second night in a row that we've recorded Show Boys content at all.
Right.
We're all definitely wearing different clothes. So, but yeah, we're here. Finally, I think they say better late than never, right? Is that the saying? But we're finally gonna review our 2023 gaming goals and set our 2024 gaming goals.
Yeah,
technically, we're still in the first month, so it counts.
It still counts. It's only the
beginning of the year, right?
I gotta be honest. I think that we normally like the note that I have was like from January 13th of last year.
It was the first thumbnail I made in 2023. So
yeah, so I think it was after. We're a little late. I mean, we're still late by regards.
But we still made it in the first month, so I guess that's all that counts.
Jan 5th, we streamed it live.
Wow, there you go.
January 5th.
Hey, okay, we're doing all right.
Yeah, so we're gonna take a look at our goals that we set last year, and see how we fared. If we completed them all, if we completed any at all. And then we're going to look ahead to this year, set some goals. And also, a few of you in Discord sent us the goals that you're setting for yourself in 2024. So we'll go over those too. But before we go over anything, shout out to our top tier patrons, Tim B, Yusuf H, and all of our other lovely patrons. Your support is amazing. It helps us out a lot. It's actually helped us try out this new software to generate some clips, and we've been loving it. So thank you for helping us be able to explore new avenues to help us with our content creation. So everything that you guys donate and provide through Patreon and things like that, we just dump it all right back into this lovely podcast. So we appreciate it. And if you're wondering maybe how you could support us financially or what Patreon even is, you can head over to patreon.com/showboyspodcast. Check it out. We have 4 different tiers that you can donate monthly. They all come with different perks and rewards. So go check it out and subscribe if you feel like it. Thank you. Chad, how you doing tonight, dude?
I'm great.
It's been a while.
It has been. Has it been?
Maybe
it has been. Feels like it has been.
Yeah.
Before the new year?
Yes.
That can't be right.
That is correct.
Is that correct? Yeah. I'm great, man. How are you, Mike?
Good. We're coming onto the tail end of like our visitor month. Like every weekend this month, somebody has been here from out of town. And we're in like a 3-day window before our next guest arrives. So it's been.
You hate to see it.
It has its pros and cons,
You hate to see it.
It kind of
I know you
stinks
hate
being busy all the time, but it's been nice to see family and stuff we haven't seen in a couple months. So, but right now I'm just trying to soak in these few days of the calm before the storm.
Yeah,
to
I was gonna
speak.
say I feel like there's more cons than pros, but I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
use
I'm not a
extended
very
your
social
December.
person. Yeah, I'm not a very social person, so be like FaceTime us. That would suffice. You don't have to come all the way to Florida. Just
Yeah.
FaceTime us.
My brother and
like-
his wife were just here this weekend. They just left last night or this morning, technically. So it's nice to have him in town over the weekend to like mourn the end of the Browns season.
Oh man,
Big rip.
brutal.
Even though we had to watch that game, we did go to like this B-Dubs adjacent restaurant down here called Wings and Rings, which has like the worst name ever. But I'm not joking. Like the best chicken I've ever had. Like so good. Best wings I've ever had in my life. So
Interesting.
if
So
any
they're
of you
better.
guys ever
Better
come
than
down
B-Dubs.
here, way better. Light years.
Food is generally better the closer to the equator you get. So
That does seem
I believe it.
accurate. Yeah,
Yeah.
How does that
I
make?
think that's accurate. It just makes sense, Dad. Just
How?
accept
just
it.
go with
Dude,
it.
I
Still-
know in Ecuador they have the best food. I just like there just isn't a lot of people to report on it, but I bet if they're, like they have like a ton of awesome food.
Wow,
There's
that's
just
right up
not a
there
lot
with
of
my
people.
comment from Monarch. We're just making a lot of very clippable segments here.
I'll take your word for it.
Nick, I
Yes,
had the
sir.
greatest lemon pepper. Like they made it into a sauce, kind of.
Dude,
That's
wet
Ooh.
lemon
basically
pepper.
just
Yeah.
butter on wings, slathered with lemon pepper, and it's like the most amazing thing ever.
You know, and usually Wingstop, like it really depends on who's working there. Like you have to go in there when like the greasy people are working because they know how to make wings.
The
Like, you
greasy
can't get, like-
people.
Never
Yeah.
trust the skinny chef. That's
right,
Cold.
the skinny chefs and like the like if they look like they go to college, like just don't.
Yeah, just leave. Yeah.
But like they're whoever works there when they're making like the wet lemon pepper, like just butter, like they got it. But the last time we went
Oh,
there,
yeah.
they were just straight dry, and it was sad.
You're saying some really weird stuff tonight about
Really? I'm hungry.
I mean, it tracks though. What he said, everything he said makes 100% sense.
Yeah, I mean, it
Do you like
does
wings,
in my
Dad?
mind.
I do, and I love lemon pepper. I don't think I've
Boom.
tried a wet lemon pepper sauce.
oh, yeah.
They just
Okay.
basically
Just butter.
saturate their wings in butter and then dump lemon pepper on it.
I mean, that sounds amazing.
Yeah,
Sounds
it's
great.
I'll
so
definitely,
good.
definitely do it.
How are you tonight, Dad?
Good. Just try not to freeze to death.
Nice.
Are you cold? What's
Same.
temperature?
Well, in my
Currently-
house, it's comfortable, but right
Currently,
now,
it's 9 degrees here.
Oh, ow. Yeah, it's
feels like -5 apparently.
a
You-
balmy
you just
68.
stop.
68 degrees. This motherfucker.
That's crazy though.
Jeez.
Houston, it's like 30 though, and obviously Kansas City, based on that football game, it was,
Yeah.
like, really super cold.
Dude,
Yeah.
you see Patrick Mahomes' helmet, like
Yes.
chunk of it
that was
shatter
crazy.
off because it was
Yeah.
so cold.
Yeah, that was wild.
Insane.
That was wild. Yeah,
Oh.
Brady really wants to do like NFL episodes, like for the playoffs, like pre-playoff games and post-playoff games. I was like, we could probably
It actually
Swing
would
that.
be awesome.
it'd be cool. I don't know where it would fit anywhere, but it would be cool because he
That
is
would
like
be
a
really
freaking. You think he's an encyclopedia for Demon Slayer? He's an NFL encyclopedia. He's way,
awesome.
way more knowledgeable about football than anything else.
That's
cool.
awesome. I'd watch it. Nick, bro, how are you?
I'm doing good. I was really, putting some thought into my gaming goals. I do enjoy.
Hmm.
So I was worried. I thought my gaming goals list from last year was just gone because it wasn't in our folder for that episode. But it turns out it's actually in the episode, like the original gaming goals episode, and I just keep adding to the same doc.
The
So
same.
That's
Hopefully I
me too,
remember that
dude.
next time.
That's so funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
have
I
all
have-
of them on here.
I have 4. Is it? Yeah, 4.
Yeah.
19, 69, 121, and 175.
Yeah, I have all
Gaming
4
goals
on here too.
episodes.
Yep.
At first, I was like, okay,
Wow.
2019, and then you said like whatever the second number was, and I'm like, he's clearly not talking about years.
Definitely,
got very
definitely not yours. It's cool to look back on mine though, because I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure gaming goals was like maybe my first episode on Showboys.
It might have been.
one of the first, like
Ooh.
at minimum.
It was definitely. I know you and Alex came on. Like, I think that was technically your first episode of Showboys, but I think that was probably your first like gaming episode for
Yeah.
sure. It's been a while.
The description does say the boys are joined by Chad.
Yep.
Nice.
So you were not. I think that was one of the
I
first.
feel
remember
like
yet.
we
first
just
solo appearance.
as
First
we
solo,
continue
yeah.
to add people into the Showboys ethos now, since we added Chad and then we added Dad, everything needs to rhyme.
Yeah, we need a
with
Brad.
those. We need
Brad, if you're out there.
We're recruiting. Anything that
Brad's
ends in
only.
ad.
yeah. Yeah, I think that's how it needs to happen. Yeah, let's get into our 2023 review. When I was getting ready for the episode, I was actually surprised at how many I actually completed. I always forget, honestly, like what I set for myself, and every year it's kind of funny because I just organically end up doing the goals I set without remembering that they were goals that I set. Cool to see, like, when we do this episode, looking back at the previous year, like, oh wow, I actually did most of those. That's kind of cool. Do you guys notice anything like that in the years that we've been doing this?
Yeah, mine for sure. I was surprised I finished any of them, but I think I tracked really well for the first half of the year, and then not so much the second half of the year. But we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Rip.
What about you, Dad or Chad?
Yeah, I actually did surprisingly well on my goals from last year. I only missed like 2 out of the 6 that I have, 5 or 6 that I have. So, but no, I don't know that I'm like aware of them throughout the year.
Mhm.
But the one, I mean, to be fair, the ones I set last year are like so, I don't want to say bland, but so like it cast a large net. So it was gonna be hard to miss any of them.
Yeah. Okay. How about you, Dad?
I think I did pretty well. Yeah, I kind of fall into that same boat too, like doing things, not even realizing it was there, but also casting kind of a big net. So, I could have a good completion rate of goals. Yeah, not too
Nice.
bad.
Nick, do you want to start us off? Just go through your goals and which ones you completed, which ones you didn't get to, maybe why.
Yeah. Are we?
What you enjoyed?
Yeah, I kind of have a color system where it's like done, not done, and like attempted, kind
Dude,
of.
are we like literally the same person? I feel like the last like 3 episodes, we've literally had moments like this where you say exactly what I do.
It's
Wow.
just the process, man. It's been like 3 years, 175 episodes. It's just, it's just
Yeah,
the
I guess we
process.
have a little bit of a history.
Yeah,
So I feel like the guy that comes into like some kind of event and I'm like way underdressed and everyone's like wearing like these nice suits and
That's
I've
me.
got my like really bland list of like
Yeah, and it's
black
like
letters
down.
on white.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
written down on like scratch paper.
Dude,
that
that
you
was
found under your
literally,
seat.
you're joking, but that was literally his notes for the Pokeboy season that we
Yeah.
just did.
I still have them. Yeah, seriously. I took
you got
notes.
him.
Yeah, hey, I'm not
Paper
kidding.
notes,
This
man.
was here was the awards show. I got a lot of drawings on there. I'm a sketcher while I'm writing.
Nice.
Whoa.
Nice.
There's the gaming award show. I drew Venom over there.
It's like
You can
looking
see
at
him.
hieroglyphics.
See Venom?
Man.
Yes.
Like,
So
Whoa.
Chad just writes in hieroglyphics.
Nick and Mike are alike, and I think Dad.
yeah,
Dad
and
and
Chad,
Chad and I
are
are
like,
pretty alike.
third person.
Makes sense.
Well, it's funny that we're talking about like you guys physically writing because, I mean, it should probably be like a 2024 like, what are those called? Not goals. Resolution.
resolutions.
I was like, I should probably like practice writing with my hands because I don't.
How
like,
do
just
I
straight
write?
up,
Yeah.
I
Wow.
don't like the only time is when I scribble my signature, which is nothing like my name. Like it's just might as well
Same.
be a line.
Yeah. Different every time. Like if
Yeah.
the FBI needs my signature for something, yeah, they're screwed. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be different every time. They're gonna be lost.
How many?
But I
should
felt like
practice,
for the award show, at least, it was, I don't know, it was easier for me to like scratch stuff off as I was thinking of it. Probably could have done it just as easily with my
Yeah, you
iPad.
gotta
sitting right
learn
here
that
has
control
the
and,
exact thing.
in Word.
you okay, Mike?
No, my
You
my internet
froze
freaked out there for a
and
second.
You froze and said words that didn't make sense.
Your eyes were closed.
You were just
The shame
Yeah,
feels
yeah.
setting in. So
It nicked me.
it nicked me. Yeah, my 2023 goals, not great, but not bad, I guess. My first two, surprisingly, went really well. And in recent memory, thinking on my like end of year recaps, which are lovely, from all the different gaming services. So first one was finish Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I did do that. I did have a little note to like do the DLC. I did not do that, but I think finishing the main game is the biggest thing, because the DLC is very grindy, which is fun, but also you're just kind of grinding Dragon Ball Z fights nonstop. So it gets a little grindy
Right.
and draggy out there. This is probably my biggest accomplishment of 2023, and that is finishing Red Dead Redemption 2. That is the big one there. I think that was my game of the year too, just all but like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty proud of that. Then I had finish / win Total War 3 Kingdoms campaign. I did not. I attempted to, and I think what went wrong was I like played myself into a corner where it's like I had control of my part of the map, but I let the diplomacy kind of get away from me to the point where I would have to declare war on like the entire rest of the map, and I was like I'm going to lose. So that really killed the vibe there. That so easily I played myself into like a death scenario where my only choice was just to declare war on the entire country of China. So now it's just this like little northern faction. I was like, oh, I'm gonna play these guys. This will be easy-ish. Good start. Nope, right into a corner. Death. So that stunted my growth there. Horizon Forbidden West. Didn't even touch that at all. So maybe I just need to let I think maybe that's a this year thing because it's like 3 years
Yeah.
old now. So now it's old
Yeah.
enough of a game I can actually play it.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid I play.
Don't you already
anything
own it?
I do.
You already own it. Yeah.
Yeah. I own a lot of games, and that's part of one of my resolutions, gaming goals, is I own too many games right now.
Yeah.
Big problem. I actually did the math and tallied up how much money I spent on games, which just in Steam,
cool.
which was shocking to me. Because typically Steam's cheap, but they tend to like. I think this is where Mike falls into a pit too. I think he spends more money than he thinks. He says he's gaming on a budget. I don't know.
Yeah.
With the amount of
Yeah.
cheap games I get, I could just get like one
One solid
normal
game. Yeah.
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 And that's true because I was thinking about this number and I was kind of like, dang, that's way more than I had planned or had, would like to say that I spent in Steam. But then I was like, that's like what Chad spends on games in like a month.
Probably accurate. Accurate.
So yeah. And then Valheim Mistlands, did I start, I didn't beat Mistlands, but I've done other things in Valheim, so I don't know how to feel about that. And I was like, I've accomplished everything I've set out so far in Valheim. There's more to do, but
It's
not
always
completely
something
lost
to
there.
do.
Always something to do, especially when Mike's giving me projects. I have like a roof, like 3
Yeah.
buildings.
I got
built
a
roofs.
Honey-do list for Nick and
Sheesh. Progress in The Witcher 3 completely just like dropped that for whatever reason. I shouldn't. Oh, I think what really derailed me there was I got the Steam Deck and I was like, oh, I could play The Witcher 3 on the deck, but I started on the
Yep.
PlayStation 5, and now I'm in this weird place where I have a save in both, and they're like kind of in the same spot, so I just kind of like had too many options there and stopped.
I think, and I could be wrong on this, but I believe they're cross save between PC and PS5, at least the PS5 update. I have to double check that, but I think I looked into that because I have it on
do they
Steam
do
Deck
that?
also.
How do
There's a
you
couple
link
games
your
that have cross save. Yeah, there's a couple. Most of them are games that go through some other like Rockstar launcher or something like that.
right.
But yeah, I have to verify. Go ahead, continue talking.
Okay.
I'll verify it.
Okay. Might be worth. I feel like I might have looked into that, but things got weird. Oh well. Talking about a 10-year-old game anyways.
Yeah, valid.
Try Kingdom Come Deliverance. I did try it. Cool game, but also like a million miles deep in terms of like how much you would want to immerse yourself into it, because it has that level of detail to it, and I just can't. It's just too much investment. Maybe someday, but I did like what I did play. It would be really cool if someone really wanted to like sim RPG their way through medieval times. So I do recommend it, though. I checked it off. I said try specifically in my list. And the last one is the saddest one, though I did make progress. Right? It just says Sekiro for Chad, which is like half Chad because I played like half the game, or like 40% of the game. I just didn't beat it. So that's like I get a half point there.
That's true. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
So
Probably
what
got
was
further than Dad did.
What was your success ratio?
So there's 8 items, 3 for sure, and then 3 green. Wait a second. Yeah, 3 green, 3 red, 2 orange.
Okay, that's not terrible.
So it's like almost half. I get like a 40%.
Yeah. All right,
Big time
Dad.
fail.
That's okay. You got some things done. At least you got some things done.
Yeah.
Dad, let's
Yeah.
go through your 23 goals and see how you did.
Okay. So
He's
first,
going to have 23 goals, by the way.
almost, but no. So first is play a bunch of random new and old games. I definitely did that. 41 games just on Steam alone, which feels like a lot to me.
Yeah.
Because it is a lot.
It is a lot. That's why it feels
I kind of went crazy last year with getting games. So my play completion rate is abysmal. Probably like a 20%. Second on my list is get into Sekiro, which I kind of did. I just didn't continue very far at all. And then I have beat Dead Cells, which I finally freaking did towards the end of the year.
In such a strange way, too.
Weird, random way. Of course, that would happen to me. Then I have play and beat both Spider-Man 1 and 2, which I did. Beat Tomb Raider. I had to, so that's a gimme. Improve the play completion rate, like I said before, which continues to grow and get worse because of all the.
I was going to say, it sounds like you failed on that one. Okay.
Yep. And I also put, because of the extreme amount of pressure from the boys to buy games, but it just basically means Sekiro and Tsushima and Spider-Man, but that was more me.
To be fair, there's very little pressure. You fold very easily. I didn't even have to give a sales pitch, and you already bought it.
Oh,
sure. I'm like a moth to a flame when it comes to
you really are. Yeah,
it's not very hard to entice me.
I mean, there's like at least 4 times this year, like when Mike wasn't around, we'd leave an episode, and the next morning it was like, "Guess what game Dad bought?"
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was that night of the episode.
Yep.
Um,
Typically is. Yeah.
Sekiro and Tsushima for sure
Yeah.
were two. And I know there's at least 2 more out there.
and then I have buy and beat Dead Space, which I only bought it. I didn't beat it. Then I have make a more serious attempt to get into Valheim, which I did. I want to continue. That's more of 2024 goal, to get more aggressive into it. And then I have make a game. Nothing crazy, just a little indie game. I made a couple of aggressively mediocre games in Roblox.
Tight.
I've been working on this like maze game where you're like this ball and like you float around the maze and you can dash and you can't hit the walls or you explode. There's a bunch of other stuff. But I want to like really, really try to push to do something because I want to make a freaking game really bad.
Do it.
The problem, which is not going to surprise any of you, is that I start an idea and then I grow to hate it and then jump to another idea.
Yeah.
Because it's just not,
First
it's not
I've
good
heard
enough.
that.
Really?
What was your
Okay.
lesson today, Dad?
Perfection or
Already forgets it.
I already forget it. Something about
He already-
enemy of
Already
enemy-
decided it wasn't good enough and moved on.
Don't let perfection be the enemy of good.
That's right.
Dude, okay. So my internet just like glitched out and
It did.
at the absolute perfect time. Because you're like, so this isn't gonna surprise any of you, but I start an idea and then it froze. And I was like crying.
Dude,
over
that's so
here.
funny because I was watching you the whole time and you weren't like entirely frozen. So you looked like you were like super pissed off about something. You were like you were right like that. So I couldn't quite tell if you were frozen. Like your eyes were kind of blinking. They kind of
He was actually
He's about to
frozen
go into
again.
a swear fest, just like
Yeah.
start swearing, like
Yeah.
just get
yeah.
livid.
And
Well,
of course, it's because it's my turn.
Yeah.
I'm starting to pick up the tendencies of when the StreamYard's gonna freeze. So when it does now, I'm just like, just hold a pose, Mike,
Just
and they'll
hold
never
the
know.
pose. Yeah,
Yeah,
what you're
just hold the
thinking.
pose. They'll never know.
You got me, so it worked.
So yeah, so you're gonna make a game.
I would really like to. I'm gonna push myself to come up with something.
Do it.
And the last one on my list is buy PS5, which I did.
Nice.
Nice.
I got a 70%.
Not bad.
Oh, that's really good.
Passing.
Indeed.
Chad.
So the running goal that I've had through all of these, which made it as my first goal for 2023, was The Witcher 3 100%. And I've just all but given up on that. I think I said
feel-
last year that I was like going to restart it because I lost my save. The game's I just can't do it. So it's not making it this year. It's made it 3 years in a row. Didn't get accomplished. So it's getting dropped off the list. The second one was to try and play every major release that came out this year. And I feel like I did pretty decent at that. I did miss some big ones. I missed Resident Evil 4 Remake. I missed Final Fantasy 16, both of which I got for Christmas and are sitting in my basement just patiently waiting to be played. But outside of that, I think I played pretty much every big release that came out this year besides those two. And then I also said I wanted to revisit some old games and games that I didn't have access to anymore, but now have access because I have a Steam Deck. And I did accomplish a good chunk of that too. I played through Grand Theft Auto 4 again on the Steam Deck, which was a great experience. I played Dead Space 2 on the Steam Deck, an older game that I had never played before. And there's a couple other ones. So the Steam Deck really for me, at least now, up until probably February 2nd, is like the old game machine, like games that I don't have access to on any other system. So I felt like I nailed that one pretty good too. Third goal or fourth goal, I don't even know where we're at right now, but play Cyberpunk 2077. And this is one of those ones where I didn't realize that I had put this down as a goal for 2023 and ended up doing it right at the end of 2023. So that shaped out pretty shocking, to be honest with you. When I read that, I was like, holy crap, I didn't realize I put that down. But yeah, I played Cyberpunk, loved it. Thought it was great. Did not beat it, unfortunately. Literally probably got to like 98% of the story and then bailed out to play something else. And we'll get into that in my goals for 2024. And then this one cracked me up too, because I said I wanted to play Dragon Ball, which I have been just all over the place wanting to buy this game all year long. I'm like, it's $14.99. I should just buy it and save it. And then it goes back up to $60. And then a couple months down the road, it goes back to $14.99. It happens all the time. I always see it and I'm like, I should just buy it. But I never pulled the trigger on it. And then the other one was to play Pokemon Conquest or Bushido. And it's funny because I attempted that one without even knowing that it was a goal. Just didn't have a system to be able to play it on, stably play it on. So yeah, I think I got what like 70% of them, 80%. I think that was all of them.
Nice. You should be able to. I think you should be able to emulate Conquest pretty easily on the deck for sure.
Yeah,
because that's like an official Pokemon game, so that should just be a download the ROM. Unlike Bushido, which fan games, sometimes you gotta do some workarounds and stuff. Yeah, sounds like you and Dad, you guys had pretty successful 2023s.
The dynamic duo.
Yeah, the ads.
Need more ads.
Oh yes. So looking at mine just quickly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 greens, 2 yellows, which were my like kind of sorta got those done, and only 1 red. So I was very surprised, to say the least, but we'll go through them. And some of these probably will not be shocking. My first goal was to play more Pokemon fan games, ROM hacks. Crushed that. A few that I played: Pokemon Infinity, This Gym of Mine, Stone Dragon, Row, and Bushido were ones that I beat. There were other ones that I started, didn't finish. And that just kind of leads right into goal number 2, which was to complete a Nuzlocke or some kind of like challenge in a Pokemon game. And this happened with the creation of Pokeboys. Seasons 1 and 2 were challenge runs. And yeah, the first season was a modified Nuzlocke for me, but I still did a Nuzlocke from beginning to end. And then we had the type draft, the draft lock, which was a really wild idea that was super, super fun. I can't wait to do again. Cool. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look at the Pokeboys stuff on the YouTube channel later. My third one, excuse me, and my final Pokemon related goal was to complete my Pokemon community game, Pokédex, which is the Twitch chat game where you can catch and battle Pokemon stuff. I did, at the time of making this goal, my Pokédex was at 91.5% complete. I ended up completing my Pokédex a couple months ago, actually. I think it was like right before we moved down here, so like maybe August, September. And I'm like, you can prestige your Pokédex, so I'm working on my second completion. I'm like almost to 75% complete. So I don't know. Maybe we'll complete it again here in the next couple months. The perks of working at home with many monitors is I have a PCG stream up all the time while I'm working. So it's just
must be nice.
Just catch them, you gotta catch them all. My fourth goal was to play Mass Effect 2 at some point. That was just a big fat fail.
We talked about it, I think,
Yeah.
this year. We
I
talked about
voted
playing
for it every time you threw up a poll.
Yeah.
I know. And there's no reason like why I didn't do this, because it's something I've
Played
wanted to do. I just never did it. Yeah, I played 1 and I liked 1. I totally want to and plan on playing through 2 and 3.
Yeah,
I
you
just
should have
did not.
just cranked. You should have ignored bio and just cranked through all 3 of them back to back to
Yeah.
back, because that's
You
how
probably should have.
I played them, and it's cool to do it that way because you remember, because it's like I can't remember what game you were playing. Oh, what's the Viking
Banner
game
Saga?
you guys were? Banner Saga. The
Yeah.
choices persist
Mhm.
throughout the games.
Carry over, yeah.
So it's cool to remember without the little intro video they show you to remind
Right.
you of what you chose.
Yeah, I kind of dropped the ball on that one, but got all year to do 2 and then 3. So who knows what 2024 will hold. My next goal was to maybe get PC Game Pass and check out some of the amazing games on there. And the one that had my attention at the time of writing this was Chained Echoes. Everyone knows my horror story from PC Game Pass from last year. But I did get it, and I did play Chained Echoes. And when I was able to play Chained Echoes, when Game Pass was actually working on my PC, that game was awesome, and I was really enjoying it. And I'm kind of sad and kind of thinking about getting Game Pass again, because Pal World comes out Friday, day 1 on Game Pass.
That looks
And
ridiculous.
I don't know. I keep checking the store page on Steam, and it doesn't have a price listed yet. So I don't know how much early access to Pal World's going to be.
Oh, that's strange.
Yeah,
It's on Steam and Game Pass.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, dual Xbox and PC release. My
The Pokemon
next-
killer.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. Pokemon with guns, and then also Valheim. Like, you build stuff. Like,
Your favorite things.
yeah,
Oh, I remember
Come
this
on.
game.
Lost.
yeah.
This was like at a E3 or something. Not E3 because they didn't do E3 this year. Something
Rest
that we
in
did
peace.
over the summer, right?
Summer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Summer Game Fest.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Joe, myself, Kumino, all very excited. I think Joe will be streaming it Friday. My next goal, which was one of my 2, like, kind of attempted, did a little bit of this, but not exactly what I wrote down. That was to enjoy some narrative games, and the ones specifically that I wrote down: Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, Death Stranding, maybe, and get into Warhammer 40k universe to prepare for the Prime series that was like announced. I did none of those games, but I did play through more narrative games this year. Pokemon Conquest, the Banner Saga games, Hades was a really awesome narrative game, but also sent me down a spiraling rabbit hole of roguelike games that I'm still like trying to claw myself out of. Ori and the Blind Forest was a really cool narrative game. We played through Tomb Raider for the Patreon episodes at the tail end of the summer. Gears Tactics was really cool, and Dredge was also really cool. So I did play some more. Though when I think of like a narrative heavy game, I think of something like Uncharted or The Last of Us, or the big AAA like God of War, Spider-Man, stuff like that. And I didn't get to any of those, but the narrative like games that I played were pretty cool. The next goal that I kind of didn't, which was to continue to grow and build Showboys Gaming, the YouTube channel over there, the Twitch stream, all of that. I think like early on in the year did pretty well, streaming a lot. We were making a lot of content over for Showboys Gaming, but then life got crazy and my free time kind of evaporated. So the Twitch stream evaporated, and I would love to try to start streaming again. I just have to like figure out when I could possibly do that. But I had a lot of fun. Twitch was the Twitch streams were really, really fun. And making the game playthrough, like the playlists over on Showboys Gaming, was a blast. I know Chad, he would stream occasionally over on the YouTube channel. Dad's streamed occasionally on the Twitch page, so it's still going, but we kind of fell off a little bit. But hey, maybe we'll have a little Showboys Gaming resurgence here in 2024. And the final goal that I had was to see our Dungeons & Dragons campaign through to the end. And we did. We completed the campaign that Joe set up and ran for us. It was super fun. It took us like over a year to do, like, no joke. I think there's like 12 or 13 videos, and we did like one session a month. And there were a couple months where we weren't able to do it. But that was a blast. Dad, he was a part of it. How'd you feel about the Dungeons & Dragons campaign?
Yeah, it was awesome. I want to do another one.
And that was your first one, right? It was my first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want in on the next one for sure.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, because I've always wanted to play.
Because that's my goal for 2024. One of them. One of my goals.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I've never played before, and yeah, it was something else.
It was something else.
And then Chad and Nick made goals for me in bold at the bottom of my notes. Chad said I needed to play about 15 hours of Persona 5. And I tried, I think I got
15
like
minutes of it.
5 hours maybe, and that might be generous. Okay. I tried, but I couldn't get into it. I don't know. It just wasn't I think I made fun of Ray, shout out Ray from The Office, so much for being so into Persona that
it's like ingrained in your
yeah.
Your
I
brain
was just
now.
like, I cannot play as a Japanese high schooler after I made fun of this grown man for being obsessive, with playing as a Japanese high school kid going to school. And then I tried playing. I was like, I can't. I made fun of somebody for doing this for so long,
Yeah.
and look what I've become. No, just
Look
kidding.
what I become. Speaking of Ray, is that his name, Ray? If you're
Yeah,
out there,
that's
Ray,
Ray.
contact us because I'd love to do a Persona episode with you, especially in the first part of the year here.
I
So you
could message him on Facebook.
We could
Yeah,
procure
let's do
this,
that.
perhaps.
Yeah, we can make that
Yeah.
happen. Just prepare yourself because he's a trip.
I'm
You guys
ready.
should definitely talk about Catholicism.
Oh boy,
Is he like super Catholic?
I don't
Is
know
he
how to
super Catholic?
describe it.
I don't. Yeah, it's hard to explain.
You'd have
But
to,
you could say that, yes.
Oh, no.
in one sense of the.
Be really
I'm not
interesting.
sure.
Yeah, it's this guy is just like it's
Top 5 most unique people I've ever
Yeah.
encountered
Yeah.
in the
So
wild.
that's funny because and I don't know, I might have told the story on here before. I can't remember if I did or not, but I used to work at at GameStop. I used to work at GameStop. It's a dying game
Mhm.
store. They're going to go out of business probably this year anyway. So I can say their name, GameStop. I used to work at GameStop instead of unnamed game store, which I've been doing for the past 3 years of Showboys.
They've been out
But
of
there,
business for like
we
3
would
years.
have we used to always have this guy that would come in and he would just like hang out and talk to us. And he was like a super Dark Souls nerd, big into JRPGs, but he had never played Persona. And I always would try to get him to buy Persona, and he would never do it. And then I ended up buying it for him. And it was like $20 or something. Bought it for him. He played it, and he came back, and he's like, "Yeah, I can't play this." I was like, "Why can't you play it?" And he's like, "Because there's tarot cards in it." I was like, the fuck does that matter? What do you mean there's tarot cards in it? I didn't realize that was like a no-no in some religions, that you're like
Voodoo.
can't deal with that kind of stuff. And it doesn't even cross my mind, the tarot card thing, because it's such a like background. It's not like a major part of the story. So it's
Mhm.
I was like, okay, whatever, dude. Like I felt a little slighted. I'm not gonna lie. Like I bought this fucking game for you, and now you
Yeah.
can't play it because there's tarot cards in it. Like, I want my
Yeah,
fucking
it's
money
kinda
back.
like it's kind of like
Right.
it's kind of like making a new friend. You go to their house for the first time, and they have like a Harry Potter book on their table, and you're like, "Oh my god, I gotta leave."
Oh my
like,
gosh.
Give
Yeah.
me Harry Potter.
Yeah, yeah, right. Such a bizarre thing to pick out. Yeah.
Excuse me. And then Nick's goal was to complete the Mass Effect trilogy, and we already talked about it. That was a big fail. Big fail.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were my goals. I think unknowingly did pretty good job,
Decent.
unintentionally.
I
Yeah,
feel.
let's get into the goals that we're going to try to hit this year, 2024. Before we get into RO, I'll go ahead because it's on my mind and I don't want to forget. We'll go ahead and read the ones from the people in Discord. Ugly Kid Joe Cross, he said, my main gaming goal for this year is to try to make more gaming content on my YouTube rather than porting my Twitch streams over or making additional content for the games I enjoy. I support that, dude. You should do that. You know?
Yeah.
Should
Do that.
totally
Do that.
Cup, new Discord member. Shout out
Yeah.
Anthony. He said, set a goal to get 4,600 or 46,000 gamer score this year on Xbox. Started at 43, might up it to 50K because I'm almost to 44. So, I mean, hey, you got 1,000 in a month already. I think that seems pretty attainable.
Yeah.
Kumino, he said, my goal would be to upgrade my PC or get a new one. I need it bad.
Yes.
I also support that. You should do that, sir.
I support your goals.
Yes.
I support you.
And then Ben from the Dragoon Effect podcast, he said, for 2023, he successfully finished the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy, Final Fantasy 15 and 16, Jedi Survivor, Resident Evil 4 remake, Like a Dragon, Ishin. Is that how you say that? Ishin?
This is so freaking funny, dude, because you did this exact thing on the 2023 game goals. The exact same thing. You go back and watch it. You said the same exact thing. It's so funny that you just did that. Ishin?
That's hilarious.
Is that how you say it? You said the same.
Ishin?
Yeah.
Marvel's Midnight Suns, Final Fantasy 9 Remaster, River City Girls 2, and Alan Wake 2. I passed on other goals because I ended up not enjoying the games. Understandable. As for 2024, my goals are Alone in the Dark, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Princess Peach Showtime, RoboCop Rogue City, Spider-Man 2, Super Mario RPG Remake, Cosmic Star Heroine, Star Tropics 2, and continuing hoping that Hellblade Senua's Saga drops and playing it. Quite a few goals. Completed quite a few goals. Seems to be a big Final Fantasy fan. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for letting us know what your goals are. And best of luck to you from the guys over here at Go Boys. Let's get into setting our 2024 goals though. Chad, my dude, let's just go clockwise. What's yours? Let's just smash. What's Chad's 2024 goals?
2024 goals. So I was looking at the 2023 goals, and like I said, I felt like I cast way too big of a net for some of them. So I narrowed them down a little bit more for this year. So I have quite a few. The first one is the Yakuza series. I'd like to go back. So I talk about the Yakuza series a lot on here, but ironically have not played 90% of them. I jumped into the Yakuza series at Judgment, which technically isn't really even a Yakuza game. It's just set in the same universe. And that came out in 2018. So there's 6 Yakuza games prior to that I have not touched. I've played a little bit of Yakuza 0. So I'd like to complete that entire, those 6 games. And I think it's attainable because they're all playable on the Steam Deck and they all run really well on the Steam Deck as well. But it's a big investment because it's 6 like 40+ hour games, Japanese subtitled games. So it's a big hurdle to get over. But I've found myself, especially in the past couple months, really enjoying this universe. I got the newest one, which is The Man Who Erased His Name, which is like a epilogue to the original series. So it seems weird that I would even be playing it before playing the original series. But it's the first one with the main character from the original Yakuza games that has English dubbing. So I was like, well, let me see if I can get into it. The English dubbing is horrendous. So if you're waiting for like a good English dub, like the voice actor for Kiryu is horrendous. So, and that coming from me, that's saying something, because I enjoy the dubs more than anything. But this guy is just, he ain't got it. He should give it up and like work at Get-Go or something. So I do want to power through that series, and that might take me 6 months literally to get through all those if I play them back to back. To kind of go in line with that, for my second goal is to go back and play the original 3 Persona games, which I have never played. Again, something that is now obtainable via the Steam Deck. I did not have access to these games in any other capacity in the past, besides maybe like one of them on the Vita. But I have not played any of the original, and the original are very radically different from 3, 4, or 5. So it's not like, I might not even like them, to be honest with you. There's no voice acting. It's very old school JRPG, but I feel like I need to do it just to satisfy because I have such a burning love for this freaking franchise. It feels weird to not play the original 3 games, right? But they're at the same time, they're like an anthology series. So it's not like I need to play them. You don't need it for the story or anything. But I'm going to continue to try and push towards that. I mean, that's like 6 games there. Luckily, we're going into 2024. There's not a lot of major releases coming up, just because 23 was so stacked with huge releases. We're going to have kind of like a slower, the first month or two here. I've got some big releases that are coming up. There's also some major releases that might release in this year. Assassin's Creed Japan is rumored to be launching this year, so we'll see if that pans out. My focus currently is Persona 3 Reload, which is quite literally the game that I pitched in our game pitch episode that we did.
I remember that.
Although I called it Platinum, Persona 3 Platinum, which for the record is a better name than Reload. I'm just saying. But yeah, literally almost word for word my pitch they eventually ended up doing. So it's the only game I've ever had a countdown on my phone for. I'm super excited for it. I can't wait. We're like 17 days away from it. So, and then Rise of Ronin comes out in March, another huge samurai game from Team Ninja, the people that did Neo and Wulong Fallen Dynasty. It looks amazing. Can't wait for it. So it should be a big samurai year. If we get that right, we're getting Rise of Ronin. We might get Assassin's Creed Red. We might get an announcement for a Tsushima 2 if that's what they're working on. So
the Shogun show on FX.
Oh, dude, looks so good, man. Every time I see
get deep.
Yeah, I can't wait. So yeah, it's going to be it's going to be a heavy, first couple months of the year here for me personally. But after that, literally, dude, there's like nothing. There's nothing at all. So I was like looking and I'm like, there's really nothing the entire rest of the year that I'm even remotely interested in outside of Assassin's Creed if it comes out. So
yeah, after 2023, it's kind of like if you're a celebrity, it's like, what are you going to do next?
Yeah.
And it's like, what could you do next after your prime time premiere, just 2023 knocking out just a stacked lineup. And then I was like, I don't know anything. Like Chad's just gonna take the year off.
Yeah,
he's gonna play old Persona games and old.
Yeah, that's why I've stacked it that way, because there's just nothing that I'm really looking forward to that's announced currently. We might get announcements in the year, and they're coming out in a couple months or by the end of the year. That happens, but I do want to continue playing the major releases, so that's going to continue as far as my goals. It's just like, I don't even know if it's a goal at this point. It's just the way my life is. Like I play all the major releases. So the other one that I need to get to, and this one has been just nipping at my butt for like freaking 3 years now since they released it, was the Final Fantasy VII remake and the Final Fantasy VII Remake sequel, which is coming out this year. So it seems like the right time to jump into it. There's maybe 3 games. I think they split the original Final Fantasy VII story into 2 different games for the remake. So I've never played Final Fantasy VII. It's like a huge historical freaking game. It's the game that's responsible for bringing Japanese role-playing games into the mainstream over here in America. So I feel like just for historical purposes, I should play it, right? And I can't get into the old style, like the PS1 original one. I just can't do it. I've tried it.
It's rough.
It's rough. I just don't like it. So I think the remake might be the best way to get into that. And with the sequel coming out in 2024, it seems like the right time to maybe jump in. And then I also, to go in line with the lack of games coming out this year, I want to go back and try to beat some games that I didn't end up beating. So Lost Judgment, which was the Yakuza detective spin-off, the sequel to that, I never beat it. I put like 50 hours into it, never beat the story. Same with Hogwarts Legacy. I never beat the story on that, even though I really enjoyed the game. We talked about it on here. I'm just not a big Harry Potter guy. Cyberpunk 2077, ironically, didn't beat it, but I love the hell out of that game. If you are even remotely interested in playing that game, it's flawless now. I didn't run into a single glitch. It's perfect. So now's the time to get into that. Yakuza Like a Dragon, which the sequel for that is coming out next week, maybe. But that's the turn-based kind of revamping of the Yakuza series, which I just can't get behind, but I do want to try to get behind it. Taking a beat 'em up kung fu game and turning it into a turn-based game, it's just not jiving for me for whatever reason. And then even though I hated it so much, I'd like to try and go back and beat Alan Wake 2. Showboys goals for this year, and it's funny that you almost kind of already brought this up, Mike. I do want to try to do another big walkthrough for a game.
Nice.
I'm thinking,
Yeah.
I'm thinking on what game that could be. I had a blast doing the Sekiro walkthrough. I learned a lot on what to do and what not to do when building that walkthrough. So I'd like to go back and either redo that from scratch or do something different. And I'd also like to do just some flat out Let's Plays of games. It's harder for me to stream, but it's easier for me to like do a pre-recorded session. So I'd like to maybe do just like pre-recorded videos of just a Let's Play. And that's certainly going to happen with Spider-Man 2 when New Game Plus comes out. That's a solid fact that I'll be doing that one, but I'll have to see what other games I want to do. I did buy a boom arm for my bike, so now I can sit in my recliner and still have the mic in front of me. That was like my biggest hang up with streaming or doing any of that stuff, as I was like sitting on a kitchen table chair in the living room. It was just horrifyingly uncomfortable. So I've revamped my setup a little bit. And then I really would love to do a full walkthrough of one of the Persona games, but that might be like a year-long project because those games are every one of them are pushing 100 hours. Some of them are well beyond 100 hours. So it'd be a huge undertaking. But I would love to do it. I would love to do it, especially with 4. So we'll see. That's what I'm leaning towards, is doing a walkthrough for Persona 4. But we'll see. And then my final goal for the year is to venture a little bit more into VR. The boys got VR headsets for Christmas.
Yes.
And I'll be honest with you, I was not sold on these things when they came out. When I first saw them, I was like, nah, not for me. It's badass, dude. It is so cool. It's at the point now where it is really cool. And even little things like they got NFL Pro Era 2, which is like a football game. Dude, it's badass. Like you're in the huddle. It's so cool. Looking around at the stadium. I literally have played.
It changes the game.
It really does change the game. It really does. The football one, even though it's like a first iteration and it's a little glitchy, it's still so cool. Like you got the play call on your arm and you're like scrolling through it. It's so awesome, dude. I love every bit of it. I'd like to venture into that. Go ahead, Dad. Sorry.
Well, I was just asking which headset did they get.
Oh, the MetaQuest 2.
Okay, that's the one I got.
So
good.
So my parents bought them the VR headset, and my mom had asked, like, do we need the 2 or the 3? And the 3 is like twice as expensive, and I was like, I don't know, for a first time jumping into it, let's just get the 2. Like, I don't think we need to get the $600 one, even though it is cool looking. One of my buddies got one for his kids for Christmas, and he sent me a video of him. It has augmented reality. So he's sitting at his kitchen table. His wife and his kids are sitting at the table, and he's building a virtual Lego set, like right up your alley, Dick. He's building it in the VR. It's not actually on the table. It's in the VR headset, but he can still see everybody in the room. It's really cool. So that might be something I definitely want. Go ahead.
I feel like Nick does that though.
Does it without the
and
VR?
Just regular reality.
Yeah,
that is my reality. I don't need to augment that.
No, augmented needed.
Yeah. I do want
That's
to
great.
maybe save up for a PSVR 2, because there are some really cool looking games on there, and I own a lot of them because they gave a lot of them away for PlayStation Plus for a couple months. So yeah, I want to jump into that a little bit more. There's a Walking Dead game that's really piquing my interest right now. I think that might be where I go after the football one, but I'm having a blast. I've been playing the whole season in football. It's so cool, dude.
Nice. Which VR set has the like Star Wars, what is it, Outlaw or something like that? There's some Star
That's
Wars.
the new game coming
Star Wars
out.
Outlaw is the new game coming out. So
Okay,
it's not that.
there's I don't remember what it's called, but there's a VR like Star Wars game.
Yeah, there's
I
a
don't know when
couple.
it came
There's
out or
like
if it's any
Vader's
good, but-
Vader's Vault or something like that, I think, which is like a lightsaber
Vader-
game. And then there's
Vader Immortal.
that's it, Vader Immortal. And then the other
Oh, no,
one
that's
is
old,
like
though.
what's Disney's park called, the Star Wars thing? Do you guys remember?
Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge. It's Tales from Galaxy's Edge. So I don't know if you're like walking around the park or whatever. Maybe, yeah. But I think and I'm not getting motion sick, surprisingly, at all with it, and which I'm shocked. So
Interesting.
Good.
That seems like a healthy amount of goals this year
Yeah.
and pretty specific.
yeah, the most I think out of definitely maybe even doubling past years as far as how many I set.
Nice. Nick, what's on your plate for 2024, sir?
Yeah.
And why does it include building all the roofs I need in Valheim?
It does. That's in here.
Better be
sort of.
one. Should be number
Sort
one.
of as a prerequisite for one of the goals that is a goal. So it's not listed, but it's a prerequisite for a goal. So here is my attempt at putting like an actual metric to this otherwise ambiguous goal that I think I looked back. It was never listed, but I know we always talk about this, and it's, play the games I own, right? Like we own so many games, and we always say like play more games we own, both from a sense of like to save money, to not spend more money on games, but then also to like just enjoy games I bought. Because like I'm even looking at Steam right now, and I bought like 4 games in December on those stupid Steam sales. And I'm like, oh crap, I completely forgot I bought these awesome games like For the King, Gears Tactics, Outer Wilds, Darkest Dungeon. And so yeah, that's just like a huge reinforcement of like I own all these really cool games that I need to play. Granted, I was starting this trend in Q4 last year because I started playing like Shadow Tactics, Blade of the Shogun. I think, Chad, you would like this game. It's way different, but it is fun.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit, because I did look into it I looked into it prior, but I determined that at the time it wasn't for me. But yeah, tell me a little bit about it. Is it like a tactics game?
It runs beautifully on the Steam Deck. It is a tactics game, but it's not turn-based. It's like real time, but there is like almost like a Fallout thing where you can like set your moves because you have to coordinate your team on the map for like an assassination move, like across the, like move everything all at
Yeah.
once. So
Mm.
it's really cool, but it has a great like story and narration to it, and the characters like talk to each other during it. But it's super polished, really well rounded, and runs great on the Steam Deck. So on sale, I think it goes like really cheap. I definitely got it for super cheap, like maybe $10 or less. I would highly recommend it because it is completely like Japanese too. And they did a lot of detail in all of that. So I recommend it for sure. But I've been playing more of that.
I looked because I was looking because it seems so weird to me that like all these, like literally every Japanese role-playing game that comes out has a European medieval setting. None of them have samurai settings. It's so bizarre to me. And that always pops up on the list of like when I'm looking like, why don't Japanese studios make samurai like tactics or JRPG, Final Fantasy style games? And that one's always on the list. So it's always there. But I'm glad that you brought it back up because I had totally forgot about it.
Yeah, and you just play through the missions and you can save like kind of any time. And there's like even like a save counter that's like you've gone over a minute from saving. Like maybe you should save.
Oh, that's
because
cool.
like
Yeah.
everything's like like as you move through the map and the zone, like you don't want to lose that progress because if you don't remember to save, you kind of like got to redo stuff. Not that it's like hard, but like sometimes it's pretty tedious what you're doing, and it's fun.
Right.
So I definitely
Are
recommend
you like
that.
are you like commanding like a group of ninjas or what?
So that's the cool thing is that there's like the traditional samurai, big like tank. There's the like stealthy assassin ninja. There is like the kind of like trickster like kind of ninja, and then there's like an archer character. So like there's different. It's a party that makes
Yeah,
up
that's
all the
cool.
different tactical portions of it.
Yeah.
So it's
I'll
good.
definitely have to check it out. I didn't know it ran good on the Steam Deck. That sounds like a perfect Steam Deck game.
Yep, it is.
I got that and like whatever the DLC was.
What?
Like Shadows of something or other Blade. I don't know what it's called.
Blaze
But
of
they
the
were
Shogun is what I have.
okay. I'll look real quick. They were free on the Epic launcher at some point, and
nice.
I don't ever like buy games on. Oh crap! I hope I didn't just start this. I don't ever buy games on Epic, but I always pick up. Oh crap! I accidentally started it. I always pick up the free games that they release once a week or however often they release it. Excuse me. So sorry, I'm also trying to like see the name of the DLC for you, Nick. Yeah, it's just Shadow Tactics, Blades of the Shogun, I guess. But I have like two versions in here, so there's
there's like an art book and like stuff like that. But
yeah, anyways, since it's on Epic, like I can't get it on the deck easily. I probably could, but like simply on the deck.
Right.
So I started it on PC and started playing. I got maybe like halfway through the tutorial or something at some point. But it is really interesting. I would like to continue going down that, and I do feel like you're correct. It probably is right up Chad's alley.
Yeah, for sure. And you and I, Mike, have both been like itching for a triangle strategy replacement game.
Yeah.
At least I think you have. I have. Certainly. So.
Yeah, we just need like triangle strategy too.
Yeah,
make it
that Tactics Ogre Reborn looks really good, dude. Like,
it's been on my wish list forever.
Expensive. Nice name.
Yeah. Tactics Ogre. Yeah, it's an old series. Yeah, it's an old series.
Extreme.
Extreme. Yeah.
At least
it looks really good.
Triangle strategy.
Yeah, that's the worst freaking name of any game that I've ever played, and it sucks because that game's awesome.
Triangle.
It's just got the worst title.
awesome.
That's like the
Yeah.
title that when they sat down at the table to first talk about it, they just had it at the top of the page,
Yeah.
like Triangle Strategy. That's what we
It's like
wanted.
Project
work-
Red
and then
for
it's
the
just
Japanese.
yeah,
Assassin's
Project Red,
Creed.
yeah,
Like they should
Right.
just release the game and just call it Project Red. And everyone's like,
Project Red.
It does
Yeah.
sound cool,
Anyways, continue on, Nick.
But yeah, so to play the games I own, to like corner myself, I am setting a monetary cap on what I will spend on
That's smart.
games.
What's the
So-
punishment if you go over? Like, how are we going to hold you accountable?
He has to beat
40
Sekiro.
lashings.
That's the punishment.
but
That's the punishment.
he can't
play
touch anything else. Yep,
until he beats Sekiro.
that's a
I
fair
like it.
punishment.
Okay, yeah. So you guys determine the punishment, but so it's not like, well, okay. So it's $100 in Steam over the course of the year, no higher than that, which is like 10 like cheap games or like
Yeah.
2. It's not that much.
Right.
Right.
And then $100 PS5. Because obviously PS5 games don't come really much less than 20. So at best, I'm getting like 5 old games, or I'm getting like 1.5 new games.
Yeah.
So to me, that's a realistic, punishable caps. Because I could see it being like October, and I'm like at $92, and I'm like, crap, man. Like I really
Yeah.
want to get Assassin's Creed Project Red.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Right. Yeah. Normally, I would
Better
hate
fire
this
up second.
idea. I would hate this idea for you. But you have like a lot of games that, including Horizon Forbidden West, which seems like bizarre to me that you haven't got to that because you like love the first one and you already
Mhm.
own it. So yeah, I think for this year I can get behind
Yeah.
this strategy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
between the games I own on the PS5 that I haven't played and the games that I now have in Steam that I haven't played, like it's pretty reasonable, I think.
Yeah.
So if you guys hear me saying I bought a new game, just lash me on the spot to keep it going any higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just need to jump onto CD keys because you could really stretch that $100.
You really can.
But see,
Pretty fun.
dad's had some bad experiences with CD keys, I think.
Yeah.
The thing
yeah.
is,
2
every
times.
Two times, yeah.
every issue I've had with a game, I've been refunded like within 12 hours.
I'm just at
Dad
the point in my life where I need a
didn't get-
100% success rate when it comes to buying things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Like, I'm not
like,
trying to
it-
go
it-
down the street to the dealer and like return.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Not behind that. If it's a
I mean, that makes sense.
99.5% success rate, I'm still not
Mhm.
doing it. I want that 100%. But yeah, Dad, you bought me what? Didn't you buy me something? Was that CD keys? You
That-
bought me something and it didn't work?
Dead Cells. No, that
Dead
was
Cells.
it was Dead Cells, but it was through Steam. Wait, no,
No, it wasn't through Steam. It was CD
Steam's
keys, I'm pretty
100%.
sure.
it was CD keys. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I did something wrong.
Probably.
I did something wrong.
Mediocre as usual.
Yep.
All right, so that's my
Nah.
first goal. 7 more.
Wow.
Oh, geez. All right. Well, it's gonna be a 4-hour episode.
Now surprisingly, I didn't have that listed as a goal, like play the games I own, but I feel like we say that all the time. I don't know
Yeah,
where
you
in
do.
the goals
All
we
right.
said that.
You just wait till we get to me, Nick. We're the same
Okay.
person.
Okay. So these ones are easy though. And this one I checked it, not a goal, but I've set it and it needs to happen. Platinum Assassin's Creed Origins. I just have to figure out what's going on with the one achievement because I can't find like 2 more people to free. I don't know where in the
Where
game
they are.
I'm supposed to do this at, and I don't know if it's a DLC thing or if it's a DLC achievement, but I don't know if I can like dub back to
Typically-
the original game.
They
Yeah,
usually
typically
don't count the
they
DLC towards
They're
the
separate.
platinum.
Yeah, they're separate.
Okay. So there's that. I just need to do it because I love that game and it deserves it. complete Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I know I'm like 5 years behind on that, but I would like to beat the story of that game because I do enjoy that game. And Chad playing it
hate
this year has reminded me that
Even though I talked
need to
like
do that.
mad shit about it, you're still like, oh, it sounds like I need to get back
Let's
to that
go.
game.
Let's do
yeah,
it.
yeah. Just someone playing it just reminds me that I need to play it. And then
Yeah.
complete Horizon Forbidden West. Play that because I own it. But also I got it like really cheap. I didn't buy that full price either. That was already like a Game of the Year sale.
Oh wow.
Last of Us Part 2. Play and beat that. Just because I need to do that. Either because the show's gonna come out sooner than later and got that for like $5. So can't not justify playing that game.
Right.
Complete Age of Empires 4. Actually, that was something I played this year and like was having a good time playing it, and I just got away from it. Just because still like Age of Empires like requires like a solid 2 hours at a time to like get into it and like progress, and you're like, oh, I played like half a mission. It's intense. This one's for Mike and I. Built Epic Mountain Fortress in Valheim.
Yes.
I've increased since the last gaming goals. I was at 410 hours. Now I'm at 490 hours. So I'm sad I did not hit 500 yet, but I am close. So in that, as a prerequisite, I have to build Mike some roofs. So you'll get your roofs, Mike. Don't you worry.
And the progress so far on the mountain base, while we haven't like actually made literal progress on the base itself, I have so many materials just sitting. There's going to be so much left over from Bebenberg that we're just going to portal transfer, and the base is going to be half built.
Bebenberg just turned into like this massive resource farming hub. Like it's just sickening.
Yeah.
Mad industry Vikings. And you know, as a game I own, this is also a trend. I own all the things that I'm talking about.
I like how you built your strategy here this year.
Yeah.
Very smart. Very smart.
Yeah, I'm trying to corner myself into one,
Yeah.
playing games I own, and two, playing games I own.
Very, very logical and wise.
So the last one here, that's for you, Chad.
Oh,
Beat Sekiro.
Let's go.
This
is
might be
third
like
year in
year
a row,
two,
maybe. Yeah.
or three, or 2 or 3. I looked back. It wasn't a fixed goal for 22, but I think it surfaced shortly from there.
Yeah.
It's definitely year 3. This will be the third year of me attempting to beat this game.
Yeah, because we started talking about it after I had did the walkthrough, right?
yes, the walkthrough is the only thing that made me confident I could even play such a game.
Yeah.
Without that walkthrough, I would never play this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I have to know what I need to do, otherwise it's just hopeless for me. I don't know
Yeah.
how anyone would play this game and be like, I'm just gonna figure it out.
Right.
I'm like, no. Like Chad's giving me like the most straight shot through the game, and it's not even a straight shot. It's like, go here, do this, go there, do that.
Getting you as
Don't die.
powered up as possible. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's still not easy. Not at all.
It's still
not
not
remotely.
easy. Yeah.
So I still can't fathom the person that just picks that game up and is like, I'm gonna beat it.
They're out there. Yeah, they're out
Bless
there.
them.
They're out
Bless
there.
them. But yeah, those are my goals for 2024.
Nice.
I'm hoping to have like a higher completion rate, having the poorest completion rate of the group here. So I'm trying.
Well, they
But I still don't call that
yeah.
easy necessarily. I mean, there's some goals in there, stretch goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some of them are ambiguous enough that you can just be like, well, I didn't buy that many new games, and I
Right.
played a decent amount of games I already own, so that counts.
Yeah.
I can't go over $100 though.
Yeah.
In either category. So
I have faith.
Don't worry, we'll judge you harshly.
Okay, that's what I asked for. Hard judgments. That's what I expect of people. I do it to people, so they should do it to me.
There you go. All right. Well, Dad, what do you got on your list here?
Dad
Okay.
goals.
Dad
Hashtag.
goals. Play more Valheim. Which
Nice.
I also put with that to play and finish the games I own. I kind of like stole from you guys and added to that.
Yeah, well, I
Um,
think, Dad, you're like the worst offender of this category. You never. I don't even know how you do it, dude. You like never beat games. You just
Have
like
you
play 'em
finished
and then
a
move on.
game?
Have you ever beat a game?
Yeah. I beat one.
Dead
Oh,
Cells.
wait, hold on.
Dead
One,
Cells,
two,
Spider-Man.
three,
By accident.
4, 5.
By accident, yeah.
But
Here-
yeah, by accident. 5.
Well,
games.
I was gonna say
Out of
this
the
earlier,
41.
Dad, where you're talking about like you're increasing your completion ratio. You had a horrible year for a ratio type target. Like if you went by hours and like volume, you'd be like knocking it out of the park.
Right.
But you went for like a percentage ratio, which you just murdered yourself.
Yeah. So,
So-
here's the best strategy for you, Dad. And you really
That's what I
this is
started with.
This is the goal I'm going to give you. Buy a game, beat it before
And
you
then
move
buy it.
on to said other game.
Before you
It's
buy
just the way
another
you have
game.
to do it.
To be fair, at the beginning of 2023, I wanted to improve my play completion, but then I shot myself in the feet 50 freaking
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
So I didn't really help
With an
myself.
assault rifle.
But my intention was good. An assault rifle and a shotgun.
And a shotgun just blew them both off. Yeah. Yeah. That's
So, yeah,
what,
I mean,
just
that's-
what you got to do. Yeah.
I need to get back to the games, all the games that I have. And chip away at those.
I feel like there's a Bilbo
also need-
Baggins like saying where it's like if I would have played half the games I bought but didn't
Yeah.
intend to buy, I would be great right now.
That's a great we should do something with that. Yeah, that's I might, so that kind of goes into the next goal: less games, limit the purchasing, improve completion rate. I haven't really played much of anything this year other than Spider Heck and Mario Wonder, so I'm doing okay. And I
You're
didn't buy Mario Wonder. My son did, so that's not
Right.
on me. That's not on me.
Did you beat it?
He has beaten it.
Hmm.
He has it at his mom's house. I don't.
Hmm.
Benefit of having
Um,
kids, you can take their
Take
achievements for
their-
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's kind of following in my footsteps and getting a bunch of games. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
Slow
wait.
down.
Oh,
Hold-
no.
No. Can we pause? Time out. Can you just like turn to your right, just in your chair? Just turn your chair to your right. Why do you have a skeleton
Oh,
in a
that
file
is a
cabinet
skeleton.
behind you?
And what are the
Bro.
water bottles on?
It's a little
Levitating.
Bro,
and my guitar's here.
Yeah. What's going on back there?
It's
that
just
is
like
hiding
it's-
literal
it's a
bodies
shelf.
in his basement.
Under a bunk bed. That's like the most serial killer thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, yeah, I just got bodies
Yeah.
under the bunk bed in the basement, bro.
What is going on here?
They're just under the water bottles that are levitating.
it's not water, guys. It's not water. I got to get him down here somehow.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Anyways.
Okay, but you didn't really
Continue.
answer my. Could you clarify what the water bottles are on? Are they like?
You see
It's
the
like an
reflection of the side
organizer.
of the cabinet.
Oh,
No,
one of
it's
those
an-
like cube shelf things.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so they're on
With-
top of that.
with even more disorganized crap. That's why I sit in front of it.
So what's the metal thing directly next to the water bottles?
His guitar.
My
His guitar. Okay, I
Literal
thought
metal,
that
bro.
was
And then I've got a-
holding.
And I've got
water
another
bottles.
one here.
I see that one.
It-
Okay.
I need to get a new back. That's another goal. It's not gaming related, but I need a new backdrop for myself.
Yeah.
Might
So we
go
can
back to the
hide
black
the
curtain.
corpses.
Yeah, I upgraded. You can do
Dad's-
it. I got rid of the little picture. I got rid of
Dad's
the wall
1,000
picture.
corpses.
That's 1,000 corpses. The mysteries
Oh
of our
my gosh.
backgrounds are
So,
Yeah.
very
I'm sorry, I
enticing.
totally derailed that whole thing. Mario Wonder, Pat, he has it.
Yes. I would like to continue working towards making a game.
Yes,
I really, like I said, I really want to do that.
I support
Showboy
that.
Studios. I like it.
And I've got the tools to do it. Like there's no reason. I just, gotta it is very hard for one person to like. I really like empathize with these one person indie developers
Yeah.
that make these games and they're like freaking amazing. So I mean, also that's all that they do, and they're super stressed out, and they like by the time it's launched, they're like, oh, I need to sleep.
Yeah,
Catch up on like so many missed hours of sleep.
they look like that guy in your cube shelf.
Yeah, not far
Man.
off.
Yeah.
That's future, Dad. That's inspiration or motivation for myself. That's my punishment. So that, and then I have beat Sekiro or Tsushima or both. All the
Both.
above.
You
All
gotta
the
do
above.
Tsushima. Yeah, you gotta do Tsushima. for
Tsushima
sure.
because it's such a wonderful, like it's the
Ugh.
opposite of
Of Sekiro.
Sekiro.
Yeah.
It's like a pleasant,
Vacation.
beautiful experience, vacation.
While
Yeah, it's like a
murdering people.
beautiful- Yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
say
yeah.
with little snippets of intense, brutal violence in those beautiful sceneries.
Hey,
That's a, yeah, it's
Right up my
intense,
alley.
brutal violence, and then you turn, you're like, wow, it's so
Yeah.
beautiful
Like-
here.
yeah,
I'm
as
so
you're
happy.
as you're covered in
wow,
blood. Yeah.
it's so beautiful.
It's like the white pig. It's like the Truman Show, like but with like you just murder your neighbors, but you're just happy because you are Truman in the Truman Show. Versus
So
Sekiro is
pretty.
like, welcome to hell. You won't enjoy your time here.
It's
What
true.
an analogy. Love it.
Question life. Okay, so both of those. I would like to stream more. Probably on Showboys Gaming. I haven't really decided where, but I just want to do more of it. And then make Patty gaming content, Patreon gaming content. Maybe with Patrick, because we've tried that before.
Making Patty
That
content
worked.
with Patty.
Yeah.
That's right. I wrote down Red Dead Redemption 2. I'd like to get into that because I love the first one so much, and you guys have talked the second one up a lot, and it just sounds and looks amazing. And my last goal, which I'm really excited about, and it's very ambitious, is make a D&D campaign based on Pokemon.
That would be sweet.
But
I can
you're-
confirm some things that he's cooking up are in fact pretty sweet.
one thing I can say is that you are not the trainer; you are actually the Pokemon.
Interesting.
Wow, big spoiler.
Big drop right there. It's a long ways away. I'd like to have it figured out, at least the campaign figured out, by springtime.
Well, with the right winter's going, you got a few months to go, so you're good. Spring doesn't start in March anymore.
What's
It's like
Right.
May.
It's true.
That's me.
I mean, sucks for you guys, but
Yeah.
F
We don't wanna
you,
hear it.
Mike.
Yeah.
at least you guys have good internet, so
That's true.
you got that on me.
We don't live on a
Um,
peninsula.
Our kids can't go to school tomorrow because it's so cold, but at least we have good internet.
Oh, that kind of goes hand in hand. Like they need something to do, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
That's true.
Imagine if you didn't have school tomorrow, you had no internet, Chad.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Oh, my kids would be
It'd be mayhem.
lost.
It'd be mayhem.
mayhem. It'd be murder in the street.
Chaos everywhere.
All right, so my 2024 goals are much fewer than last year's because much like Nick, because we are the same person of late, apparently, my biggest goal and most important is going to be chipping away at my massive backlog in my Steam library.
good.
The way I tried to organize this for myself, I'm not going to go through every game, but I created a shelf in Steam. So like, you can make like kind of like lists inside your Steam library. And I just made one 2024 backlog, and just like the last couple weeks have just been adding games from my library to it. Some of those being Dead Cells, God of War 2018, Mass Effect Legendary Edition Trilogy, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Red Dead Redemption 2. I have Shadow Tactics on there. I have already purchased like 3 games this month, or not this month, maybe the end of December. But they were C keys, bargain bin purchases, being King Arthur Knight's Tale, which is a really cool looking tactics game. The Pale Beyond, which I started playing. It's just a visual novel of sorts, kind of like a resource management sim. Nick, it's
very cool.
The Terror. Do you remember that show, the Arctic Expedition show that we watched a couple years ago on Hulu?
Yeah. Mhm.
It's like that, but as a game. It's been pretty cool so far. Star Renegade's a roguelike that I bought that I think Jeff got to.
Yep.
The problem I've run into early this year in chipping away at my backlog are most of the games on my backlog are roguelikes. And those are like pretty much impossible to beat. So I haven't gotten off to a great start so far. I started playing Star Renegades and the Pale Beyond. Star Renegades has been really fun, but a lot of restarting, and probably won't beat that for a while. The Pale Beyond I haven't picked up in a couple weeks, not because it isn't good or anything. It's just I haven't been in. That's like one of those games you have to be in the mood to just like sit and read and like make choices, But I have started Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and that is really fun. Blind Forest was awesome.
Yeah.
And the story was really cool. The gameplay was really cool. And so far, Will of the Wisps has been like epic. The gameplay changes and like quality of life upgrades that they made were things that I didn't think needed to be made, but are like so awesome. So I'm excited to continue to play that and see what where that road leads. But I did not add, like Nick, like a monetary limit. I'm just gonna try my best to not like bargain bin shop and add like 2 or 3 games every couple of months for like $10. It's gonna be very hard.
Yeah, that's like your MO, man.
I know. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. One game on the backlog, or I should say series, I'm excited to get into. I got Darksiders, like the old Darksider games, to play on the Steam Deck. And I remember, what did it come out on, like PS3 or something? I mean, it's kind of an old
I
game.
think so.
I remember playing a little bit of it back then and enjoying it, but never finishing it. So I found it for like $250, and I was like, oh, it's playable on Steam Deck. I should probably revisit that sometime. But yeah, so that's my biggest goal that I'm going to try to chip away at. My second, I guess I'll just go in like size order here. The next goal is to record 4 to 6 seasons of Pokeboys this year. I'm having a blast doing it. We've done 3 seasons so far. And yeah, it's just doing these, like trying to create new challenges in Pokemon games has been a blast. Getting to do the first 2 seasons with Jared was awesome. Getting to do last season with Kumino and Dad was super fun. Dad has now become obsessed with Pokemon.
Yeah.
He's like bought a couple elite trainer like trading card boxes.
boy.
Like
I have.
he's yeah, he bit hook, line, and sinker. So that's been
Sure did.
fun. So I'm excited to do, some more challenges. I'm excited to do some more narrative plays of some fan games, or maybe even do a season or two on like a Pokemon adjacent game like Temtem or Cassette Beast, something like that. Third, I would love to explore. This one is super vague, but I want to explore more emulation on the Steam Deck. I guess to narrow down like some Game Boy Advance and Switch games.
So I've done up to the Wii U, and it runs really good. I've done Switch, so all the advanced stuff would run phenomenally. I'm sure of it. But I played Wind Waker on the Steam Deck, and it was awesome. And 60 FPS, I think, too.
Bro,
I know.
Okay, follow me on this. We're talking about Tactics Ogre Reborn.
Yep,
There's a Switch version of it.
there is.
Maybe
You could emulate it.
we just emulate it. I
Yeah.
hope the FBI isn't listening, but maybe we just do that. Maybe we
Yeah, I
just
don't
do
know. I know at least when I looked into it, it was a little shoddy on the games, depending on the game. Like Breath of the Wild ran like at 5 FPS or something ridiculous. So I think it's dependent on the game, or it might be dependent on the system. So I don't know.
Yeah, but games like Advanced Wars, Boot Camp, I really want to play, which was a remake of an old tactics game from Game Boy Advance. But yeah, the only games I've emulated have been Pokemon games. I want to branch out and emulate some of the other cool like Game Boy and Switch games. Fourth, I should say, and probably last, because I guess it's not last. Okay, fourth would be to finally play this game that's been sitting on my computer desk forever, and that's Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
Oh yeah, you loved that first one.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was super cool.
dude, the first one, Kingdom Battle, was awesome. I got Sparks of Hope for super cheap on Amazon, and actually, funny story, we had like a handful of Amazon orders that just like never arrived. They got lost. Has that ever happened to you guys?
Never.
No? Okay. Well, it's happened 3 or 4 times to us, and it's usually fine because they'll just refund us the money, whatever, and we'll just reorder it again, and then it
It's
comes.
like a Florida problem.
But then what ends up happening is the order gets unlost and arrives at our house.
Oh
So
yeah.
this is what
Yeah.
happened with this game. I ordered it. It got
So you have
lost.
2 of them.
Canceled, reordered, which actually worked out in my favor because like 2 days after I bought that, it went on sale for $5 cheaper, which whatever, it's $5, but I ended up getting it for $5 cheaper.
Nice.
And then they refunded this one, and then I had 2 copies, and I have a friend down here. I know it's surprising and shocking, but I do have friends. And I just ended up giving it to him, and he's really enjoyed it. So it was pretty cool. My final 2024 gaming goal, something I talked about before and something that Chad and Dad have touched on, but I really want to try to start streaming again. It's kind of tough, like with the situation, like of where my space is right now, because just how my hands in the way. But yeah, I'm just like in my kitchen. So
yeah.
I kind of make streaming a little difficult sometimes. So I don't know if it's streaming or going the Chad route of trying to do pre-recorded content of some sort, but I miss streaming. It was a lot of fun.
If only you had a basement.
I know. Dude, you guys don't understand how lucky you are.
Which is
Basements.
literally impossible to have in Florida.
It
Well,
literally
yeah, I was
exactly.
gonna say.
Everything's on a slab.
Yeah.
Big sad.
I dig a
Sucks.
basement, I'll just be in the ocean.
You need like a
I wish I was
nice
joking.
ocean view gazebo like room, right? Where it's just
Right.
all windows. Like really
Yeah.
upgrade yourself, Mike. We know you can.
We know
Yeah,
you can.
We've seen your house. We know you
Yeah,
got
man.
the money to do it.
Oh, if only that was true. But yeah, so I don't know how, but I want to try in some capacity. I like your idea, Chad, though, of like doing pre-recorded stuff.
Yeah, it's
I don't know
easier for
what I would
me.
do, but man, that would be cool. I mean, even dude, Nick, I would love to watch you either stream or have pre-recorded a playthrough of your Darkest Dungeon play. Like that would be so fun for me to watch you play that. That game is awesome, and I want to experience you experiencing that.
I almost bought it the other day because it was like ridiculously on sale
Like $2.
on PS5. Yeah, it was like $2 or something.
Yep, that's when I got it, when it was like 2 something, and it was one of the most fun things.
I think the sequel was also like really on sale too.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that. But yeah, those are my 2024 gaming goals. Not very many, and hopefully, just looking at it, seem pretty accomplishable because it's already stuff I'm doing anyway. So and like Nick and like Dad, stuff I already own. So should be able to have a pretty high success rate next year. But yeah, that's it. I don't know. I mean, you guys got anything else you want to say? Are we wrapping this up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think we got some good goals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good goals.
Awesome. Well, if you've made it this far, that means there's some reason you're still listening, and hopefully it's because you liked it. And if you did like it, you should subscribe to our YouTube channel here. If you're listening on audio platform, follow us, give us a rating. I don't know. By the way, this is something we haven't really talked about, but if you only watch our YouTube stuff, we do have all of these episodes on all of the major audio podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple, Google. So if you can't quite finish an episode here on YouTube, you can just pop it up on your phone when you're in the car or whatever on Spotify or Apple. We just created channels on Rumble, which is like a YouTube alternative site. It's another video platform. So if you're into Rumble, go follow us over there. And then once again, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/showboyspodcast, and sign up to support us today. That'd be awesome. Until next time, we hope you have a fun time chipping away at your 2024 gaming goals. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Peace.
Run the music.
I almost hit end recording, but I know that Dad hates that. So
Oh, you did it last night. And I thought about it. I was like, Dad's just seething at you.
yeah,
See,
so angry
It
right
worked
now.
out. It worked out because last night's we had like a minute of just banter back. It was ridiculous. But it's good. It worked.
I'm
Nice.
excited.
Just don't let it happen again, Mike.